Before she comes up, let me introduce Brianna Marsh, who's our next speaker from Neurosciences, and the talk is entitled Finding Balance, Preventing Epilepsy After Injury.
Traumatic brain injury, like a concussion, can cause seizures to occur, which you can think of like electrical storms in the brain. Now, these seizures can persist for years as chronic epilepsy, and while we do have drugs to treat epilepsy, over time up to 30% of patients can become resistant to these drugs. So it's incredibly important to prevent epilepsy from ever developing if we have the chance. Now, currently, doctors might give you drugs called neural inhibitors, which generally decrease brain activity. And intuitively, this makes sense. But what if this is the wrong approach? And I blanked. If we want to stop seizures, we need to understand where they come from. To do this, I create large-scale computational models. 200,000 simulated brain cells which act just like the real thing. I injure them, they seize. So, how do we prevent, where do seizures come from? This is my hypothesis. What you see here is a section of brain tissue with neurons or brain cells painted in black. Now in the middle, things go dark. This is where the injury has occurred and activity levels have dropped. In response, healthy cells surrounding the injury try to compensate by increasing their activity levels. But if the injury is severe enough, balance cannot always be found. These neurons surrounding the injury can become wildly hyperactive, generating that electrical storm of activity that we call seizures. So how do we prevent this? Well, there's two main options. First, we could provide neural inhibition, like the drugs currently used. But my hypothesis predicts that adding inhibition, further decreasing activity, could only unbalance things further, potentially promoting seizures rather than preventing them. Second, we could provide neural stimulation. This temporary increase in activity could prevent the loss of balance until the network has time to recover and regrow on its own. Now, this may seem unintuitive to provide stimulation, to prevent overstimulation, but not when you understand the underlying causes and balances at play. And in fact, this is exactly what my research has shown. We've shown that not only can stimulation lessen or prevent seizures, but inhibition can make them much worse. Now, this information is absolutely vital to verify, as it would imply a complete reversal in how we treat traumatic brain injury patients. With my research, I hope that we can find balance to stop inadvertently working against the brain and start working